What is that you're looking at there? Hi guys, let me show you the project I got this time. It looks like a clown in a box. But is that all it is? No, of course that's not all it is. It is a toothpick holder. And his little hands come out and you can pull toothpicks out of there. So, you know, I'm sure everybody really needs a toothpick holder. Anyways, it's a fun gift project, I suppose. Let me take the toothpicks out and show you what this is this clown here is on just a little base, and his hands, or his arms, are on springs, so that when he pops down in there, his hands are hidden in, well, if you look at him this way, you just see his eyes, and then all of a sudden, and anyways, it just kind of cracks me up, and I like it. It's a real simple project. You guys can make this in a day, alright? So I'm going to start this out by making the box for the toothpicks, and right now I've just got it kind of held together with rubber bands here, and you can see that when I take these apart, what I've got here is 4 pieces of wood, well actually 5, there's the 4 sides and then the bottom piece, and all I've done is planed everything down to, gosh, it's less than 1/4 of an inch, about 1/8 of an inch, and I've beveled all of the sides to 45-degree angles so that I can just glue everything up. And my box is going to be 3 inches long, and I've got a toothpick to measure, you know, how long I wanted it, and obviously you don't want it the same length as the toothpick. You want it longer because you're going to have that inside piece, and then it itself will have a little bit of a base on it, which will raise your toothpick up. Alright, I've spray mounted the clown to my board, which is also about 1/8 inch thick, and I am going to cut 2 of these at once just because, you know, I may screw one up. So I've got those held together with a piece of carpet tape. Alright, now I'll just cut this guy out on my antique scroll saw. And there he is in all of his glory. Now I just need to separate the 2 pieces apart and move on. So let me show you what I'm doing. Now I'm kind of making this up as I go along. I hope it turns out okay. But what I've done is I took the spring out of a ballpoint pen and I stretched it out. And then on this, I don't know if you can see this or not, on the center part here, I've flattened it out with a hammer. So I've got a flat area here, and then I've got the stretched out springs over here. And then what I've done for his arms is I had some of this tubing around. This is for drip irrigation, 1/4 inch tubing, and it actually fits right over those ballpoint pin springs. So I cut off a couple little pieces. I'm going to put one on this side and one on this side, okay? At least that's the way I'm thinking. And then on the back of him, I'm going to go ahead and tape this down just temporarily, just see if it's going to work. About like that. It's a piece of duct tape, okay? So there are his arms. Now, if I set that down in here, we can see if it's going to work. So he'll sit down like that, and then when you pull him up, the arms should pop out. So I think it's a pretty decent system. Now I just got to come up with a way of attaching those and making some hands for him. Thank God cartoon hands only have 3 fingers, because this is really hard to cut this out at such a tiny size. Also, I should mention that I'm using maple on this project because I knew I was going to have some really small pieces on here, and I just don't think that if you used a pine or any kind of a soft wood, this would really hold up. So anyways, I just cut it and cut the wrist kind of long, and I'm just shaping it down so where it will fit inside of that tube, and so, well, that's going to be his hand. This is the little tray that the clown will sit on and hold the toothpicks, and when you pull it up, the tray will come up. What I've done is I've cut little bitty pieces of wood, and I'm just gluing those down just to make a lip around there, because I'm afraid that once the toothpicks drop in here that they might go out the sides and get stuck in there. I'm going to paint this clown using all acrylic paints, you know, the kind of paints you can pick up at a craft store. And before I put anything else on him, I'm going to just put on a layer of white paint just to basically act as a primer. I'm going to next lay down a base of yellow. I need to transfer this design to my cutout and give me some lines where I can paint it in. Since I don't have carbon paper, what I'm going to do is I've rubbed just a sheet with a pencil and just kind of making my own carbon paper, and then I cut out a piece of that template and taped it down. I don't need to draw anything on this section. Really all I need to do is just draw out the face areas. And I can peel that up, and if you can see, well, that gives me a basic outline of where I want to put the paint. I think I'm going to start with this flesh color in here and the tongue. So what I've done is taken some white and mixed a little red in it, and you know, I'm just going to make a really light pink shade, and you know, just keep playing with it. You'll get the color that you want. It takes very little red to make that flesh color. Might as well put his buttons on. Right now I need to make his eyes, so I will just grab some white paint and follow this around. Now I need to make the green for the clown's hair, and of course green is just a mixture of yellow and blue. Now that all that's dry, I'm just going to freehand this black outline with black paint. Okay, well, for these finer lines, I'm just going to use a marker, you know, a Sharpie. You really need to put a catch light in his eyes, just a little white dot here and here, and that will bring him truly alive. And now I've glued the clown down to the base, and remember, on something this size, you really don't need to clamp it. Well, here's what I am now. I've painted the box, and here's the guy with the tray on him, so he'll sit down in there. And what I've done is I hot glued the spring to these tubes and to the hands, so I hope that's going to be strong enough. And I tried some epoxy, but I had a hard time just getting it to dry, and I was getting impatient with it. So next thing I need to do is to hot glue this to the back of the clown. Alright, here we go. I'm just going to put a big blob of hot glue. I'm going to go ahead and test him and drop him down like that, and of course he pops out like so. So I'll just put a few toothpicks in there, and this project is done. Well, thanks for watching. This has been a really fun project to make, you guys, and you know, you might want to give it a shot. And if you do, feel free to download the template that I designed of the clown and his hands. And I would suggest, if you're going to make this, to make the clown first and build the box around him. Kind of do it in the reverse order I did, because I really didn't know where I was going with this. So I started with the box and then designed the clown, kind of worked backwards. So anyways, good luck, and I'll talk to you guys later.